You see, I think I always feel good at first, but because of arm wrestling, my tendons and ligaments hurt. Excuse me, they get a little bit painful, just from pulling. So, I got a super match coming up. I took it short notice, but hopefully I'll win. But I'm gonna try to get as many reps as I can with 3 plates. Pretty tired and not really motivated today, but we're here. I hate benching. My wrists are tired, man. Felt decent. I already squatted before this. I'm kind of tired, but hopefully I can get way too burnt. That sucked. All right, let's set up my bench. All right, let's see what I got. My hamstring feels tight, so I'm gonna feel this out. Felt okay. I'm just not feeling it today. Very tight. Squat, bench. God, I love deadlifts. I gotta grab some more plates. Give me a second. You know, everybody makes it all cool, or seem all cool to be able to do like 4, 5, 6, 7 plates on deadlift. it's annoying as hell putting everything back. It's really worse when you're like beat up and tired. You gotta put everything back. It's like a whole different set. I'm really tired. I'm too old for this crap. Let's see how we can get this right now. You have another three. So I technically shouldn't be deadlifting or working out in general since I have a super match on Sunday, but I don't know. I can't stand still, so I try to see what I can get on deads. I'm hoping maybe up to 6, but I already did this heavy squat session and pretty decent bench session. I didn't go too crazy on bench, but SBD's hurt. It's a lot in the CNS, so I don't want to out too much, so Sunday comes around, I'm not going to be at my full strength, for my super match. So let's see how my grip holds up. I think when I get to like 6, I'm probably going to end up wearing wraps. Yeah, that'll help my grip out a lot. I'm not all burnt out. Also wear my belt, but how long did I do this right now? I don't feel it at all. It's kind of sloppy. One of these is like wagon wheels. Kind of want to use that, but I already loaded all that on. I should put these on first, and I'm lazy, so. reps for this because I'll burn myself out. I'll go on my belt too, that'd be smart. You know what it is too? I don't drink enough water during my sets, so I get tired faster. I gotta work on that. I gotta drink more water. Alright. Trying to get this song going. Cool thing about my gym is that I always have like equipment to use, like slingshots and belts, different wrist wraps for training. So like talking about that. Oh, God damn. I like holding it right there. I feel like it builds up a lot of recent power. Not past that. I think I'm gonna call it. Kind of tired. I don't want to get too burned out. That's kind of what a normal deadlift session would be. Taking it light today because I'm doing SBD, but should have ate a little better and probably could have performed better too. Oh well, I'm done with this. I'm gonna go hit arms. So I pretty much only squat just because I have a metal rod in my left leg during a motorcycle accident. So squats are pretty much the least painful thing. Leg press kind of hurts just because of my screws. I don't know if you can see. Probably notice in the squat videos the swelling, but yeah, I broke it a while ago on a motorcycle. Car hit me, so I'm not too comfortable with the leg press movements. So I'm trying to get back into all because I think it helps build good quality muscle. So gotta do it even if I don't want to. I think that sucks too since it's kind of cold. A rod tends to hurt more in cold weather. Ready to beat up. You know what it mainly is though? I get bored. For some reason, SBD movements are really thing now and gets me excited. I don't know, it's because before I used to try to do bodybuilding, but then I realized I didn't have the genetics for it, so got into powerlifting and then MMA, jiu-jitsu, now arm wrestling. So yeah, I'm trying to keep what little strength I have on my legs. I feel like I'm slowly getting away from my powerlifting strength because I had like a 1700 plus total, and then just switching over to arm wrestling and putting that as my primary focus and winning a tournament here and there. It's just like kind of takes the focus away from my first love, powerlifting. So I'm trying to see if I can focus on that for a little bit. I don't know, I like squats the best, so I want to keep that nice and strong. I want to try beating 610. I got 610 for my squat PR. I posted that up on my Instagram. But that was a while ago, and like I said, it was before I started taking arm wrestling more seriously. So just trying to maintain my strength. I feel like I lost like years of progress, you know? My hamstring's been feeling tight for some reason on my right leg and kind of going up into my glute. It's been bothering me. I noticed it's been bothering me on squats and not deadlifts, oddly enough, but squats, yeah, it bothers me. So trying to be careful of that too, but I wasn't even here mentally when I first started my workout, and I'm still not here. I'm like, man, I can't get a rhythm going, you know? It's like all the weight of the road's slamming on you and you kind of lose sight of everything. It's annoying. I'm trying to get my blood pumped and get through it, but man, I just can't get a groove. Like I usually would feel connected to the weights, and I feel like the weights hate me right now. Oh. Starting to get a little heavy. I did a whole SVD before this. So I'm trying to see what I can do on leg press when I'm exhausted. I already know what I could do at full strength, right? But who cares about that? I want to get myself when I'm broken. Then it's a lot harder. And if I struggle, that's what I'm aiming for, that struggle point. Where it's either I get it or I die. And that'll force me to get it. Because I ain't dying right now. Honestly, I should have adjusted the safety before this. But, you know, since I never do leg press, I didn't even think about it. I'm pretty burnt right now. Not gonna lie. I hate resting in between my sets too. I don't know why. You know, because powerlifting exercises for the most part, your rest time or your breaks, your in between sets, that rest time is very important. Right? You give yourself time to recover. And you get a better strength. So I should be doing that, but like I said, I like getting to a struggle point because I'm a dummy. Probably not even optimally training, but I don't care. I train. I'm still strong. I just don't take rest breaks that often, but it's not that serious. I just breathe like a cow, but it's gonna feel heavy as hell right now. Getting there. beat up right now. Oh, I know they look a little easier on camera, but they hurt a lot. And then I like keeping my sweater on because it helps me stay warm and my muscles warm, right? But it sucks when you get all sweaty and kind of the heat gets trapped in your hood. It's worse when you got glasses. Fogs up. I need some windshield wipers for that. Let's see what I get. Excuse me, bro.
Yeah.
If you want me to get out of the way, just let me know.
Oh no, you're good. Man.
Okay.
No worries.
Just make sure, bro. Yeah, that feels heavy. Ooh. Yeah, that feels heavy. You know, for some reason, this angle that this specific leg press is at feels harder than 2 rows of 45 stack for some reason. You know, and I think it's a plate because at a gym that I used to go to at my old city, they had like those, I don't know, they're like the black, almost like the 24-hour fitness plates, and those always feel floppy. So those hurt, always. It's that density. I probably won't even be able to get the next one. Probably end up dying. But I feel the screws in my leg, it's inflamed. It always gets like that. But I still gotta train legs. They're already small, I can't afford to have them any smaller, you know. Should probably drink water. That'd be nice. Oh yeah, I'm burning up. What's cool about the gym I go to, they have like really good cold filtered water, special water, but it tastes really good and it always hits a spot, to be honest. I look like a dork. I just realized I drank that crap like a Napoleon Dynamite. I'm gonna go for one, just out of safety for gimp leg. But I think I got it.
It was like that. Well,
I should have. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Oh, God.
No, I'm not saying that. He's strong as fuck. Yeah, he has like his waist is so because I was looking at that.
Ouch. I think I got one more. Oh, all right, that took my soul. I'm done. That didn't necessarily hurt my muscles, but it hurt my brace. Well, I did not hurt it, but it was a little uncomfortable. And we got the quits because once the form breaks down and your stability, you risk your safety. So I'm not trying to get hurt. I'm calling it quits. I hate leg press, but decent workout. Now the funny thing about doing quads for me is that this is the most painful workout for me, or exercise. I don't know if you see my scars on here and stuff, top of my quad, and my beat up handicap leg, but it hurts the most, only because my titanium rod is like fused inside of my tibia, and specifically on this quad movement exercise, it feels like it's gonna rip out through the top of my knee. It won't, but you know, it's just perks of nerve damage and things like that. But oddly enough, it's still my favorite exercise. I always wanted to have decent sized quads, or at least to look like I have some quads. But yeah, I just start off light just to try to keep my knees warm. I notice when my knees are like kind of clammy or coldish, usually it'll take a few seconds or a few sets to warm up. Never use a specific quad machine either. Usually use the one at like 24 Hour Fitness, so they're a little different, but yeah, I can feel my rod already. You know, and after my surgery and the doctors were talking to me, they're like, oh, you're never going to be able to squat or train your legs how you used to again. I was like, I guess. I mean, just because you say that doesn't mean I'm going to stop. And I felt like that mindset helped me get through it, because otherwise I'd have chicken legs, and I'm already kind of small, so that's a no. There's actually another guy who had a similar injury to me back when this happened to me, and he's like, stay away from that movement, it's gonna mess you up. I'm like, no. And it's never really hurt. I mean, it hurts like through the top of the knee and the screws, but when I get it really warm and I'm in a rhythm, it's not that bad. You kind of learn how to take it. I've had it for 8 years now, so you're kind of forced to live with it. Yeah, like my muscles getting worked, but it's just really painful. I also don't like the angle of this. Oh well, I'm gonna stop complaining, honestly. That'll probably help. Whoa, quads are burning from that one. It's not even that heavy, but over the years, like watching people like Sadiq, I'm gonna butcher his last name, but Hadzovic, I don't know if I said that right. I apologize, Sadiq, if I said that wrong, but he was this physique bodybuilder, and copied all his movements. But But Sadiq, he would be really religious on squeezing the muscle when it gets to full extension. So for instance, if I'm bringing my quad up, I'm gonna get more out of the rep if I come here nice and controlled, or a decent amount of speed at least. And then once I get to the top, flex it. That little extra flex in the motion will give you like better muscle quality, get stronger too. I think it mainly hurts the screws because it's like right where the weight rests, you know? I'm gonna have to lighten the load. So I like to go slow with my movements. So once my form starts breaking down, gotta change it. I'm gonna try to jerk around on here again. Yeah, see, that feels way better. Got a way better contraction at the top on the quad. Nothing like a good leg day to get that BS out of the clouded mind. I was just talking to somebody about that earlier. I won't mention his name, but he was texting me and telling me that he's depressed, and I'm like, I'm depressed too. But you know, if you go to the gym for a little bit, you're not gonna do nothing crazy, but like 15-30 minutes of something on the treadmill, at least walk, you know? A slight incline, get a half burn or something. But, you know, it'll probably help your mood if you do some kind of physical activity and not just dwell on it, you know? For me, when I work out, it helps me clear my head. I get a straight line of thought. So, I'm trying to tell you. Hopefully it does it, because people don't really change unless they want to. But it does help with mood. It's not that I stopped doing it, it's just I can't train it as often with work and the scheduling, but my endurance went down. I can still last like, say about 3 5-minute rounds, But man, I remember sparring my teammates on the mats, and I went like 25 minutes straight. Granted, I was 180 pounds and not what I am right now. I'm like about 210 right now, just because I'm a little chunky. But for competition, I'm at 198. But anyway, so my endurance is a lot higher. I feel like a chunky, but I'm not that big. So the more muscle mass I have, the least ineffective, or the less effective it is for actual fighting. So that's the only bummer. That's why I hate training for muscle size too. It's already hard enough, kind of where I'm at. And I like leg kicks, but they take a lot of energy when you're bouncing around and moving around the cage, especially if you're backing up. And then, with good old Reliable right here, it's like 10 times harder to navigate. Oh man, one time I was sparring my teammate Caesar over at Universal Grappling Academy, and he threw a kick, and I checked it, and it like went right on my screw, and the nerve damage in that was, oh man, I felt it. I felt like a bunch of tiny needles stabbing my leg. Gotta love it. Yeah, I mean, it's not so much my endurance. I get it. I'm breaking down my muscles, and I'm like the end of my workout, so I'm kind of beating myself up, but should be doing better. Yeah, that's it for quads. Alright. That's about all the energy I got for tonight. What's up, guys? Now that I'm not working out and completely out of breath and sounding fat and coming up with things on the spot, I've been focused so heavily on my arm wrestling that kind of took me off my path of powerlifting. I was talking about it earlier, but I'm coming back to it and training a lot on my deficits. Bench is my worst lift. I know how we say that and people think it's good. Yeah, okay, it may be good, but I want it to be great. It's not up to my standard. And I feel like driven. Because I've won first place in all my competitions and I've taken best lifter, but I want higher competition. So I'm gonna try to go to nationals. It's kind of my goal right now. I want to go and want to squat over 600 in competition. I want to deadlift 700 in competition, and I want to bench at least 500 in competition. The bench one's a little far-fetched. That one might be a dream. I hate bench. I'm not gonna lie. When I first started working out, I actually really loved bench. It was my main thing. And I wouldn't neglect legs, but being a smaller dude, and I was like 120 pounds when I first started working out, maybe like 118. And so legs is always challenging for me because I used to be a pencil, and I never developed leg strength like that. I was cut everywhere, typical skinny-ish with abs, just because I used to do parkour and breakdancing and jiu-jitsu and wrestling. But building gym strength, or at least powerlifting strength, is completely different. And every sport, right? You have movements that you got to train specific to be good at that sport or mimic the movements you're going to be doing. So yeah, I'm working on my squats a lot just because I feel my strength kind of going up and down. And I'm not on anything either, so I don't know. It's kind of hard when you're like, man, I've been doing this for years, and all of a sudden I'm weak in strength. I know it's a buildup of stress, life problems, working. I'm a blue collar guy, so I unfortunately am stuck working a lot of hours and laborious jobs. So, you know, it burns you out too. Not only physically, but mentally. But I'm still training and doing my thing, and there's not really any excuses, because at the end of the day, when you go to a competition, your competition's ready. You know, where you should be ready. That's why you're there. You want number one, and you want to solidify it. So I'm trying to be a lot better with it. I'm like decent. I think right now my total, I could do like 16, I want to say 1600 total, but I need to be cleaner. I need to be tighter, because I want to do 1700 plus, because that's when powerlifters, they have different classes, but there's an elite class, and that's what I'm aiming for. It's just hard at 198 pounds. It's hard to generate that kind of strength, let alone with a leg injury. But now I also have a collarbone injury, so I made a video that basically breaking down what my injuries were. So I had a few accidents, but the worst ones being my motorcycle crash, where I was just driving through a stoplight. Dude smacked into me trying to turn into a side street right before the stoplight. And, you know, I blacked out on pond impact. And I woke up like, well, I wasn't completely blacked out. I could feel the scraping on the floor, like my body ragdolling. But everything was black. And it could have been because, you know, you got hit so hard you're discombobulated, or maybe my helmet turned. That was scary. I always get like antsy when I think about it. It's a little traumatizing. Feels like it just happened yesterday, and I could still feel that pain, that like impact of my leg. I turned my motorcycle, just trying to maneuver. If you are like 5 seconds from a car braking distance, it's very scary. And I wasn't even speeding, but it's a close call. You should have. You should always try to move around and tap your brakes, and let alone your back brake, because it'll make your tires slide on your motorcycle. But anyways, I was trying to maneuver around, and unfortunately I just ended up kind of fishtailing a little bit, and I went over the hood of the car, and yeah, I was scraping on the floor, and then I woke up like 20 feet from the bike. I don't know if that's a lot or not, but man, I had just bought some brand new cool basketball Under Armour shoes. I was all happy, and I had brand new riding jeans. And actually, thankfully, I was wearing gear. Obviously, that helped me a lot. But unfortunately, I didn't have motorcycle boots, so that probably would have helped too. But just based on impact, the way my leg was, it was more like that kind of a break. It was a compound fracture, so probably would have been screwed no matter what. But it sucked because they took me down the hill where I live, and it was like about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, just to get down through the Cajon Pass. There was so much traffic, and for some reason nobody moves for ambulances. And I went to, I think it was Arrowhead, the trauma hospital in Arrowhead, and I didn't get surgery until like 12 o'clock, and I had got hit like around 4. So I was just there with my broken leg, and I was like, can I have some morphine or something? And they ended up giving me Norcos, and the firefighters put like my leg in a cardboard splint. And I gotta say, out of all the pain and everything, it's kind of weird seeing your leg where it's straight in one part, and then you just see your bones sticking out, your tibia and your fibula out the side of your leg. And so your front half of your shin is like this, and then the bottom half is like, you know, so it's weird. And when they had it in the splint, obviously they kind of just went like this, because the compound fracture was like that. So they basically pulled both sides of my leg to get it in together and put it in the splint. So imagine like all those broken bones, the sharp edges, like it was painful. But you know, they had to do it. And so when I finally got surgery, I remember being on the table, and the doctor was like, they put that sleeping gas on you, and he's like, count down from 100. I was like, 100. I knocked out so fast. And I was terrified, because I remember seeing a movie as a kid where a dude, I mean, you know, it's on TV shows too, where people wake up in the middle of their surgeries. So I was really nervous about that, but thankfully I didn't feel nothing, and I was completely asleep. And I came to, and man, my foot was all purple and swollen, but I woke up, and, you know, I see all these stitches and staples in my legs. I'm like, what's going on? And the doctor showed me an x-ray of my leg. I still have the pictures. I'll probably post them up sometime. I always like to remind myself of my Instagram. But if you're new to my channel or new to knowing me, yeah, I like posting it on my Instagram every now and then just to remind myself that I have to work harder because I suffered a traumatic injury and my legs deserve enough respect for me to make sure that they're strong, healthy, and get used, because I could have lost my leg in that. But anyways, and I started squatting again like maybe a month and a half, 2 months after, and which is really stupid, by the way. I shouldn't have done that. And in fact, like literally the day I got back from the hospital, I grabbed one of my other motorcycles and I rode it. And then I tried getting it in my garage, and thankfully I had a cage on my sport bike, but I ended up dropping it, obviously, because it started leaning to my left, and I'm in a freaking whole like cast setup and whatnot. And man, I remember thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna die, because when that bike tipped over on my leg, I felt my cast hit the floor, and oh man, that made me straighten out and put my bike back in the garage. It sucked because I had to pick the bike back up, which is hard because I had a pistol squatted up basically. And then, yeah, I put the kickstand down and I was like, I'm going to sit my happy butt down and go play Halo because I'm going to end up breaking my leg again and I don't want to go through that. But I started squatting again, and I remember when I got 315 for the first time since my accident, and it was the happiest moment of my life, I want to say, because you know I was squatting 315 before, but to be able to do it when you don't have the muscle, because my leg was atrophied, it's still atrophied, so I'm always self-conscious about that. Not the muscle size, I think my legs are decent size, you know, I got body dysmorphia, who doesn't, but you know, it's just seeing the scars, it's like, man, when people see them, they look at me and it's like, oh. Sorry, I mean, what do you want me to do, you know? But, yeah, and then I got 5 plates. I want to say 2 years, maybe a year and a half, 2 years. I started training powerlifting, and, well, I got introduced to it, and I just started training, and, man, I got 5 plates, and then that was probably my second best accomplishment. Oddly enough, because you would think heavier weight would mean more to me, but just, like I said, overcoming something like that. It's definitely an experience, but that's why when people ask me, I always tell them legs or squats are my favorite exercise, just because I have to appreciate it. I almost lost it. I could be in a wheelchair. I could be in crutches still. I could have died, or I could be in a coma or something. So it's always a wake-up call to reality. Appreciate your life. Appreciate your body. Take care of it. You know, we all have stuff, we all have injuries, we all have stress, but at the end of the day, your body should be taken care of. And I'm not saying you gotta like powerlift or bodybuild or anything, just be healthy, that's all. But anyways, so that breaks down that. I also had like all kinds of road rash and scars everywhere, but I'm not about to take off my shirt and all that to show you guys. But so my second one would be, I was on my R6, and there was this long stretch of road that kind of leads up to the desert. Me being a dummy and a young man, you know, we don't use our brains that much when we have something so powerful in our possession. And I don't mean powerful because it's a lot of power, but I mean, bikes are pretty fast, and when you're a young kid, you don't know how to control things properly. Or at least I didn't at my age. So I was racing this Mustang because he pulled up at a light and he asked me to race, and I'm like, oh. I guess it was an older 5.0, like an olive color. It sounded like it had a supercharger in it, but yeah, we ended up taking off, and you know, I think I hit around 140, 130, and this specific long stretch of road had dirt on the floor, and man, I just didn't see it in time. And for some reason, I started just, boom, getting the death wobble as soon as I went over that patch. And boy, have you ever experienced death wobble? It's basically watching yourself die in slow motion. It's terrifying. So I was getting death wobble, and I'm like, I could get this. I'm like thinking in my head, breathe, you know, stay calm. And then I like drifted off the road, and it's so hard. Like, and being inexperienced, I was only riding for like maybe like a year or two. And so I didn't have enough experience to like know to try to throttle it out or just let it rest and not put tension on the bars like that. So I got off into the dirt, and there's these big old telephone, the poles, right? And the lines. And I'm like this close to hitting one directly. And I see it coming, and I'm like, well, I'm about to die. I'm about to smack into this at 130, 140 miles per hour, right? Face first. This is how I die. And oddly enough, this was after my leg break, like not too long after that. So anyways, I'm going into the dirt. This happened for like at least 20 seconds. That's why I say it sucks, because it feels like forever. And 20 seconds is a long time. It's probably less, but you know, in the moment it feels like it. So man, I thought I was gonna be able to save it, and I was slowing down, but I probably ended up crashing at like 60 miles per hour. It was hard. I don't think I've ever felt a smack that hard on my body. Like, that blunt force was ridiculous. That was worse than my leg break, just when I smacked into the car versus when I smacked into the floor. You know, because when I hit the car, it was like, but I slid. And when I crashed in the dirt, my front tire dug in, so I turned completely sideways. For some reason, I like getting hurt in my left. And it threw me straight into the ground practically. And the bike ended up flipping and rolling over me, thankfully. And I was like, I got up. I was on my hands and knees, like, okay, I'm fine. I just crashed. I almost died, but I'm fine. I thought I was like scot-free, right? And so I'm there for about 20, 30 seconds. And my body starts feeling heavy. And I go, man, I am jacked up right now. I don't know what it is, but I got to get up. And so I try getting up, and I'm like, oh, like I'm halfway in a yoga, weird, like doggy push-up position. I can't get up. And I was like, what the heck? This feels painful. I could still move my arm, but I felt like this burning, stinging pain. And I'm like, oh crap. And then I like took off my riding jacket, and I looked down, and my collarbone is broken, right? And it wasn't poking out through my skin. It was pressing against it. Like, it looked like a pencil about to rip through paper. But thankfully, it didn't rip through my skin, like a tiny, tiny little piece, but it was like barely anything. And so, man, I called my friends up, and thankfully he was like 30 seconds away. I was crashed right next to his house. Shout out to you, James, because you've always been there for me with my stupidities. But anyways, he loaded up my bike for me, and he made sure, well, like him and a few of the guys actually came, my motorcycle buddies, they came to the hospital and checked on me. And this is the crappy part, but you know, I'm at the hospital, and they're like, all right, so this is what we got going on, because I had back pain like crazy, right? Collarbone's hurting, my shoulder. I'm all scraped up, and they're like, all right, so you got a hematoma. You have a massive hematoma on your back. That's why your back's hurting. They give me Norco for that too. I didn't like it. Those drugs are way too strong. Norco's ridiculous. But I was like, man, I had a welt. If you guys ever seen Land of the Lost, Will Ferrell, when he gets stung by like that prehistoric giant mosquito, he turns around and Will Ferrell's back's all swelled up from the bite, and he passes out. That's basically what my back looked like, but with a fat gash across my back. So I had that hematoma, and it was cut, and so I was all patched up, big old purple, black, green blob on my back. And I felt like I was paralyzed, you know, because when you get back pain as it is, it's already hard to deal with. But something like a hematoma, I sleep on my back 90% of the time. So I was like, well, I gotta get adjusted to this now. So I had that, and I don't know if you could really see it that much, but I got my broken clavicle right there. Oh yeah, you can kind of see it right there. And so with the clavicle, it just kind of heals by itself. So now it's like this, and the connecting point is like a ball. It's just a calcium buildup, so it's strong. That's why I say like I hate bench, because I have specific injuries, and I don't know, I guess it's more of a traumatic experience thing in my head, where I'm like trying to prevent myself from putting stress on something that was very traumatic for me, you know, henceforth my leg and clavicle. But yeah, so that's kind of breaking down my main injuries. I mean, have a few more, but you know, those are the only ones that are really noteworthy. But anyways, so that's gonna wrap it up for me for the most part. I was just gonna talk about one last thing in terms of training. I'm gonna try to do more gym vlogs. A lot of my friends ask me to do them and what my workouts are, so that's what I'm aiming for on top of my powerlifting training and my arm wrestling training. And hopefully I can get into another jiu-jitsu tournament. I want to compete at the IBJJF league again. I had fun with the last one, and I want to rematch with somebody that got a BS call on me. But yeah, so hopefully I can get another medal. That'd be nice. I like, for some reason, jiu-jitsu tournaments, winning those kind of not boosts your ego, but it gives you that great confidence that, you know, you've been putting in that work and training, and it helps a lot, and it pays off. So I don't know, I kind of get that feeling a lot more with jiu-jitsu. I don't really get it from powerlifting as much anymore. Hopefully I can get that, because it helps you, like motivates you to train, you know. But yeah, I wanted to do breakdowns of my exercises, and I'm not the type to be editing my video constantly. I kind of just want it to be raw, and that's how I am. I want to make the content that I want to make, you know. I don't want to be the same cookie cutter as everybody else. And, you know, a lot of my friends and family have been telling me, you should do this or that, and be a trainer. And it's like, I like doing what I'm doing now. I don't really like training. I like explaining this. And I don't mean training in terms of I'm working out with a friend and I won't explain to him the workout. I'm just talking about like personal training. I don't really like it. It's kind of boring. I like teaching people, but for some reason when I'm like thinking about personal training, it doesn't like excite me, which is odd enough because I have a NASM certification too. So I don't know if they expire or not, but it was a while ago. So I'm like, I had it, should have done it. But yeah, I'm gonna try to make weekly vlogs. I don't think daily is gonna be possible just because I'm all over the place. But if I can, I'm gonna be doing table time for arm wrestling, and when I get enough subscribers, I'll be able to go live. So the live stream will be up so everybody can see it in real time. I know people ask to watch my super matches and my table time videos on arm wrestling, so stay tuned. I'll have everything coming with time. I'm just trying to balance everything and, you know, having the energy to do so many things at once. And I'll put out a breakdancing video or two every now and then. It's just a lot harder because there's not really too many places where I have a spot to train. So yeah, but thanks for joining me, guys. Hopefully I put out decent enough stuff for you guys. I highly recommend at least trying some of the things that I do. You don't have to go as heavy on the movements itself. You really just want control, stability, and quality. That's gonna be a meathead in the gym just throwing weights around every time. But anyways, guys, thanks for joining me. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them.